Hi everyone, this is absolutely incredible, okay? What's going on with the Fang group right now? Listen to this analyst. I'm about to play a video clip for you, how they're talking all the Fang stocks up higher, how they're saying that they're a good buy, that there's nothing that's going on, as all of them unanimously are dropping like a rock. So apparently, we could classify this as human nature. Why do I say that? Remember when Bitcoin went all the way to $18,000, $20,000? Okay, what was everybody saying? Oh, it's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. It's going to be $1 million. Okay, guess what they were doing when Bitcoin fell to 16,000? Oh, they still were saying that. Oh yeah, 500,000, $1 million. Guess what they were doing when Bitcoin fell to 12,000? Well, they were still saying the same stuff. So how's Fang any different? I think that illustrates a good point about human nature. How first they were reluctant to admit that Bitcoin went from 10 cents all the way to 20,000, and that was hard to believe. Then all of a sudden it became hard to believe that Bitcoin had a probability of falling back all the way down to $5,900 low as it did just not so long ago. So what do you make out of this? Do you want to buy the Fang stocks here? Do you want to short the Fang stocks? Take a look at this video clip and decide for yourself. But if you want to know how to profit from these unbelievable opportunities that the market is giving us right now, for trading options, for trading put options, for trading call options, visit marketcrash.money, schedule your one-on-one consultation by clicking right here, how to profit, and get your answers. Take a look.
That are only semi-related. Amazon today is actually the last of the Fangs to get hit. Netflix a little bit along with it, although Amazon's off the worst levels of the day. I have not been a seller of these stocks on things like the president, quote-unquote, coming after them. I think a lot of the potential malevolence when people talk about what he's about to do is balanced out by a little bit of let's call it being all over the place and maybe even a little bit of incompetence. So a lot of these industries that he was quote-unquote going to chase down, you really haven't seen that show up in the actual fundamentals. So these types of things have represented good buying opportunities. And then when you look at the long-term trend for technology in general, despite all of the carnage of the last week or two, the long-term uptrends are still largely intact. Not a lot of these stocks have violated those longer-term uptrends. Yep. So I think they're still innocent until proven guilty.
Pete, what do you think? I mean, Andrew Left came on a couple weeks ago, said Netflix, good short, going to go below $300. Here we are, 286 or
certainly
somewhere
caught that.
around there.
Certainly caught that. I think what they're doing is coming
rollover.
Yeah,
in all of these
and
stocks.
coming after high multiple stocks. If you go out even outside of Fang, but if we're concentrating on Fang, obviously, with all of the Facebook fallout, Scott, you've seen this cascading thing, and we've seen this happen in the past as well, where if one of the names is getting absolutely hammered, the same folks who own Facebook also seem to own, it seems like, the rest of Fang. And because of that, it pulls all of them down, and then suddenly it turns into this whole cascading move to the downside, and we all get, ourselves in a bundle, and then things get a little interesting.
Steve, hang on. You bought Alphabet within the last day or so.
I bought it yesterday. I bought a little bit more this morning.
So you're not convinced that what's happening with Fang is in any way some longer-lasting trend in the market, that these are the stocks that are now from the headlines to the breadlines, and you're going to have to find something else?
You know, this too shall pass. I put this in the category of geopolitical issues. I think Facebook has more issues that are peculiar to its business model and to the information they cultivate in their website versus Google. But Google's not an expensive stock. Apple was caught in the downturn.
Facebook's not an expensive stock either.
No, but when you talk about the potential damage to their business model, at the very least, it's going to be under a cloud. I'm not particularly happy with how they handle this. Also, I added to Aapl this morning. To me, that was pretty cheap. Not only on services, Pete, but
wearables.
But Netflix, Andrew Left was absolutely prescient in calling this Facebook issue, which is the only reason why Netflix declined. Let's call it for what it is. It declined with the rest of the Fang stocks. I think that if you're not afraid of valuations,
you buy Netflix. If you're not afraid of valuation, you buy Amazon. We know Trump's had it out for Amazon since the election because Bezos owns the Washington Post.
I get it, but I mean, find me, Carrie, some good news in the space, right? Goldman Sachs comes out today. Price target goes down in Apple, once again questioning whether their iPhone numbers are going to be what people think they're going to, or as good as they think they're going to be. You know, they got the Facebook issue. Now you've got the Amazon thing with this Axios article in Trump, which we'll get to in a second.
So putting it in perspective, I would say the following. Some of these stocks have been phenomenal performers so far this year. Even with this move today, Amazon is still up 22%. So let's not talk about a stock that's, you know, out of favor, out of interest in investors' mind. It's just way up. And this is a market right now where any bit of news that can hit a stock is doing so. So it's down. Is that how markets act? Of course, that's how they act.
Netflix could fall 40% from here and still be up on the year.
Correct. So, you know, these are markets, and we can talk about headlines, which is what we're doing. But I don't think it's really surprising to anyone.
Oh, and I don't know if you caught that, but I thought that was absolutely funny. The same guy that says Netflix is a buying opportunity right now, at the very end of the video says, well, it could drop 40%. If there is anything that we can learn from history, is that rising interest rates equal to lower stock prices. We're officially at the foundation of the new era going forward of an increasing interest rate environment. It was plainly stated today by Jay Powell that the era of rising interest rates is right on the horizon. And the speed of interest rate hikes is going to be determined by the upcoming economic data. So, if higher interest rates mean lower stock prices, well, why aren't the markets falling by 500 or 1,000 points today? Well, everybody expected the interest rate hike today. However, any future unplanned rate hikes could definitely take the markets down. So what is the one significant data that's going to be revealed to us soon that could create panic in the market? And the answer is the job report on April 6th is going to be closely watched. And today is March 21st, so we're not far from April the 6th. That is officially when the stock market could really tank and produce significant losses. Now, in the past, I have actually produced a video and I posted it about the potential correction of market crash right around April 6th. Now, also looking back in history, when some of these announcements do come out and when some of the data is presented, sometimes markets do not react logically. And what we've seen is the past, there is such a thing as what I call a delay effect. And what I mean by a delay effect, although the rising interest rate environment has never been more clear, the markets are not dropping significantly, or at least not yet. The delay effect could officially postpone a significant drop in the market until April 6th, or shortly after that. I would say within 2 weeks after April 6th. So you still got time to profit from the significant drop in the stock market that it will take place relatively soon. If you'd like to know how to do that, visit marketcrash.money. Find out all the possibilities of a market stock crash in 2018. Possible Bitcoin crash. More importantly, how you can take advantage of the upcoming crash before it takes advantage of you. If you've been potentially, or your financial resources been depleted in the crash of 2008, or maybe you have suffered some significant losses in the year of 2000 during the dot-com bubble, or maybe you remember things all the way back into 1987, and you're wondering, well, how do I avoid the same mistakes? How do I preserve my capital? How do I actually benefit from the market fall to where I'm not just protecting my resources and my capital? How do I actually profit? Because the truth is, if you look in the history, all fortunes, all significant fortunes were created in the stock market when the stock market reversed. And right now, we're faced with an opportunity of a lifetime when the markets are at all-time high. And they present an incredible opportunity of a trend reversal. So don't wait, take action now. And by the way, if you'd like to learn how similar exactly is the environment between 1987 crash, the pre-existing conditions, and compare it to the potential crash of 2018, visit one of the videos I just posted a couple of days ago that is titled Stock Market Crash 1987 versus Market Crash 2018. I believe you would be completely astounded by simple answers to key 11 questions and similarities between the environment in 1987 and the environment we're facing today in 2018. Again, if you're a new trader or an experienced trader looking to profit from this new market environment, because it has never been more clear that the environment is changing. We're exiting the environment, the period of the United States history where the interest rates have been artificially low for a significant amount of time, for many, many years. And now we're entering a new phase where interest rates are going to be continuously rising. So how do you profit? The same strategy has worked in the last 8, 9, 10 years is not going to be producing the same results. If you're looking for a new strategy, click right here, How to Profit. Schedule your consultation and take action now. Make 2018 your most profitable year.